My mother and I were sitting in her kitchen doing her bills. She lifted her hand to sign the first check and said, "How do you spell my name?" I put my head against her head and hoped with all my might that whatever was happening in her brain would come into mine, just seep into mine. I'll take it, anything to make her better. Have you ever had to watch someone you love fade away and know there's nothing you can do about that? My mother had been falling a lot. She'd been leaving the garage door open all night long. She was trailing off in her sentences, and when she'd lose words, just say, "Oh well." She was getting lost coming home from her Rotary meetings, and she was hallucinating, seeing small children in her room. After many tests and many doctor's appointments, the diagnosis was made: Lewy Body dementia. That's the same type Robin Williams had. My mother was 61 years old. With that diagnosis came a decision. I was a news anchor in San Diego, California, and I quit that job. I packed up 14 boxes, grabbed my bike and my cat, and moved back east to be with her. She was my best friend. She held my hand through everything in my life. We had so many adventures. Even had the same glam hairdo. Remember that? It was the 90s, after all. It was my honor and my joy to be with her on this journey. Now, being a journalist for more than 20 years, I thought I knew how to communicate, but I knew nothing about this new language. This wasn't like French or Spanish or anything that you could learn in school. This was the complex language of dementia. Words mean different things at different times, on different days, and the learning comes in waves. Sometimes it crashes on top of you and you can't breathe, and other times it arrives kind of slowly and offers some relief. And using this language can actually help you with connections you thought were lost. Now, Alzheimer's and Lewy body are two of the brain diseases that cause the symptoms of dementia. What do I mean by dementia? Memory loss that really impacts your daily life and your daily activities. For example, not even knowing how to start to make a cup of coffee. Getting lost in your own home. Which door is the bathroom? Or not being able to recognize the face of a cherished loved one. There are 7.2 million people living in the United States with Alzheimer's right now. And according to the Alzheimer's Association, that is 1 in 9 over the age of 65. This is not normal aging we're talking about. Now, as my brother and I navigated our new reality, we found that we made mistakes, so many mistakes, but occasionally we'd have a win. My mother called me one day from the assisted living. This is back when she could use the phone still because numbers and phones go early in this disease process. She said, "Chris, there's a man under my bed." Okay. She's 61. Average age in this place, 80, 85. If there's a man under her bed, boy, he used to be an Olympic gymnast sledding under there. I said, "Okay, let me start asking questions here. All right, Mom, is he banging on the bed?" "No." "Is he yelling at you from underneath the bed so you can't hear your favorite soap opera, Young and the Restless?" "No, he's just under there." So I reached into my caregiver bag of linguistic tricks, which gets bigger and bigger by the day, and pulled this out. "Okay, Mom, he's under your bed to make sure you go to lunch on time. So go to lunch, and then he'll be under Mary's bed to make sure Mary goes to lunch on time. He's the under the bed, go to lunch guy. It's his job." "Oh, okay," I hear. It was at that moment that I realized how important it was not to argue with the person with dementia, to instead to go into their reality, validate their concerns. And here's something you may not have considered. The way we communicate with people who have dementia can be the same way we communicate with those who do not. It can help you relate. Everybody deserves to feel valued. Everyone, every idea deserves to be heard. We are worthy of being heard. Say you're on a Zoom call, and somebody comes up with an idea, you're not really feeling it, you don't think it's going to work, don't shoot it down right away. Instead, validate that person, acknowledge that idea. Probably took them a lot of courage to come up with that and share it. And because of the validation that you give them, next idea is going to be even better. Here's something I learned early on in my dementia education from my colleague Carolyn. The person with dementia isn't giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. The person with dementia isn't giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time because of their brain disease. So, how are you showing up for those folks who are giving you a hard time, or are they having a hard time? And are you responding with patience, or are you responding with irritation? So I suggest this: take a deep breath and lead with empathy to figure out what is going on. Because just as in dementia, every behavior is a form of communication. So investigate, play detective, and if you can't figure it out, say, I'm sorry this is happening to you. I'm with you, we've got this, we're on the same team here. I find great joy in music. So when my favorite band, Switchfoot, wrote a song that I thought had to do with what my mom was going through, I was pretty surprised. The lyrics are, have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside, somewhere we live inside. That song is called Meant to Live. Even though we think our person with dementia is lost, I contend they are in there. My mother was in there. These folks, they lived, and they worked, and they sacrificed, and they loved. Honor who they are now. Honor who they were then. And talk about the old days, because those memories actually stick around longer. The disease attacks the newer memories first, and the older memories reside in a different part of the brain, so they remain accessible for a longer period of time. So talk about the past, respect and honor that. And you can use some of those techniques of language to speak to people who don't have dementia. You know, when somebody gets really excited about a story and they light up, mirror their excitement to connect with them. Go into their reality. Ask them a question about what they're talking about. Then ask them another question. And then ask yourself, am I really asking to listen and hear and understand, or am I just getting ready to tell a similar story about me? You know, when somebody walks into a room and they just have that energy and you're just drawn to them, you're like, wow, I want to meet that person. It's the same with people who have dementia. They can often feel your energy and your essence before they comprehend what you're saying. So, how you show up to everyone matters. That's the most important thing. So, we say in dementia care, arrive positively from the front with a smile. So approach your loved one, or a coworker, or the barista at the coffee shop with positivity from the front with a smile. It's going to make a huge difference. Leading with kindness and empathy. We could all use more of that. One afternoon, I was with my mom. She was in a wheelchair at this point. She had lost her ability to walk and talk. She put her hand out as if to give me something. I knew to go into her reality, and I put my hand underneath to receive it. There was nothing there. But I took it and I put it in my pocket and I said, thank you, Mom. I'm going to keep this forever. It wasn't until many years later, after she passed away, that I realized what my mother gave me that day. My mother, who had lost her voice, gave me permission to use her voice and the voices of those who have this disease in their language to make sure their stories are heard. I am now a dementia educator, and I am so grateful for everything my mother gave me. I feel her with me every single day. And now you can validate and really hear someone's story. You can connect with respect. And you can honor who someone is and who they were before. And here, permission to use the beautiful language of dementia.